I wrote the book because suicide is preventable and because the church has a unique role in suicide prevention. Non-religious suicide prevention organizations don't bring faith into the conversation about what prevents suicide. And the church can't remain silent about how faith and how the church help prevent suicide when church has such a crucial role. So this book was written for people in the church, for pastors, for lay ministers, for congregants. Everyone in the church is needed to help prevent suicide. And this book will provide a blueprint for how to do that. I hope people will take away from the book 8 essential elements for suicide prevention in the church. These 8 essential elements make the point that the church has a crucial role in suicide prevention, and they lay out an easy to follow blueprint for how a church helped prevent suicide. Suicide is a growing tragedy in the US and in the church. And we can stop the climbing numbers of suicide deaths, but it's going to take everyone working together, including the church. Without the church, suicidal people might not hear life-affirming messages that they need to hear. And without an informed church, people who have lost someone to suicide might leave the church. So too often the church watches from the sidelines, not knowing what to do. Why is it that the wider secular culture is more engaged in suicide prevention than God's people, especially when Christians care so deeply about the sanctity of life? The Apostle Paul modeled suicide prevention for the church when he stopped the suicide of the Philippian jailer. But pastors, lay ministers, and congregants might not know how to follow his example. The result is that people who struggle with suicide or who have lost loved ones to suicide wonder if the Bible or their church has anything relevant to say about suicide. This book will provide the resources needed to be able to help prevent suicide in a church, even when a church does not want to start one more program.